Okay, let's get into it. Today we're doing a depth dive, looking at this really interesting perspective from our source material. It takes quite a compelling, almost, blunt stance on discomfort.
Yeah, it doesn't really pull any punches.
Not at all. It argues that actually embracing things, most of us avoid stuff like, say, ice-cold showers, or even being short on cash, isn't just like character building in some vague way.
Right. It goes further.
Much further. This source says it makes you fundamentally more capable. Even uses the word dangerous, but in a sort of highly driven, focused sense.
And what's really striking, I think, is how directly it connects that discomfort to being effective.
Yeah.
It's not saying discomfort is just some unfortunate side effect of hard work. It frames it as a tool. Like, you should seek out this friction because it directly sharpens, your discipline, your focus, that drive.
Exactly. So that's our mission for this deep dive, really, to quickly unpack the source's core argument. Like, why does it claim discomfort creates these specific qualities? Because, understanding this link, this connection between things that feel kind of bad and things that can make you really capable well, that might seriously shift how you look at challenges or goals in your own life.
So the source often starts with a really simple physical example. The cold shower.
Ah, the classic.
Right. It points out that immediate, gut reaction most people have wanting to avoid that shock.
Totally. You flinch just thinking about it.
Exactly. And the source argues that that avoidance, that preference for staying, warm and comfortable and safe, that's actually what holds people back. It prevents growth.
And this is where it gets interesting, isn't it? The source clarifies it's not really the pain of the cold that's the point.
No, it's the choice.
It's the choice to endure it. So every time you deliberately step into that freezing water, even though your body's screaming, no, well, according to this view, you're directly practicing discipline.
Like a mini battle.
A micro battle you win inside your own head. And the idea is winning these small internal fights builds up that mental toughness.
Mental toughness that then presumably carries over when you face bigger external hurdles.
Right.
And then building on that physical discipline idea, the source kind of shifts gears. It applies a similar logic to a different type of discomfort, financial scarcity.
The empty wallet.
Yeah, the empty wallet. But it's careful here, isn't it? It defines this not as crippling poverty, but more a state of being hungry, having that drive.
Right. A hunger that it claims makes you dangerous. Again, not dangerous like harmful, but
Fiercely focused. Intense.
Exactly. The source argues this financial pressure forces you into this kind of focused survival mode.
Yeah, it strips away the fluff.
It suggests you stop worrying so much about impressing people. You cut out wasting time on things that don't directly help you reach your goal.
Every hour counts. Every decision feels more critical.
And that necessity, that constant pressure, that's what the source says, forces you to become laser focused, really proactive. You have to start, creating, hustling.
Hunting is the word they use, I think.
Hunting, right. So if you tie these two examples together, the cold shower and the empty wallet.
They're both described as brutal.
Brutal, yeah, precisely because they strip away that cushion of luxury and comfort.
And the core message seems pretty stark. Comfort, in this viewpoint, is basically the enemy of ambition.
Yeah, the enemy of getting stuff done.
When you're uncomfortable, physically, financially, whatever, you become alert. You get innovative. You have to be aggressive in pursuing what you need. That's the dangerous state it describes.
And the source is really blunt about this contradiction it sees everywhere. People want the results, right? The success, the fitness, the freedom.
But they avoid the process.
They desperately avoid the process. They want the reward without doing what the source calls the essential ritual.
And it explicitly defines discomfort as that ritual. Cold showers, pushing through scarcity, intense effort.
It's not just stuff you grit your teeth and bear.
No, in this framework, they're presented as deliberate, vital practices, like sharpening a blade, absolutely essential for forging that personal effectiveness.
Okay, so let's quickly sum up. What does this all really mean?
Well, at its core, the source is making a powerful argument that discomfort isn't a sign to quit or run away.
Right. It's presented as a necessary ritual, a vital sharpening tool for building your capabilities and driving you towards your goals.
And it uses those really visceral examples, the cold shower showing how intentional physical discomfort builds discipline.
And the empty wallet or financial pressure, explaining how that hungry, focused drive gets created, which really leaves you, the listener, with the source's challenge, doesn't it?
Yeah. Are you maybe avoiding the very experiences that, according to this view, are actually designed to forge your strength and capability?
It makes you think.
Definitely. And it prompts this interesting final thought. If choosing these small, maybe manageable discomforts, like taking that cold shower, really can build the kind of discipline the source talks about,
Yeah.
well, how might adopting that kind of mindset change the way you approach the much bigger, more significant obstacles you face in life?